place. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough.
Alright, what's up you guys? So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. This has been the longest I've been away from YouTube ever since I started YouTube, and so I've been doing it for over 6 years at this point. I've been doing weekly uploads, daily uploads, and at longest I'll maybe not upload for 3 to 4 weeks, but at this point it's been around 2 months, and so yeah, it's been quite a bit, but I'm back now, and so I just want to take this video to kind of talk about where I've been, what I've been up to, and what the future of the channel is going to be like. And so first off, where I've been, well, I feel like a lot of you guys know this already, but essentially I've been in college, and so I'm currently attending UC Berkeley under the High School of Business. And going to college, I felt like I already understood how, you know, it was going to be a huge shift in my entire life. You know, it was basically me going from a kid to finally an adult, but that being said, it was a way bigger shift than I thought it would be. Now in terms of what I really like about college, there's a lot of things, and so bear with me. But for one, the independence, and so I can basically just do whatever I want whenever I want to do it, and that is just a huge change for me. You know, there's nobody keeping me accountable anymore. Instead, it's me keeping myself accountable, and so if I want to sleep at a certain time or wake up at a certain time, that's completely up to me. For example, I went to sleep at like 4 last night, and then I woke up at 8, and so probably not the healthiest. I'm probably not going to do that again, but yeah, just to show, you kind of get to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. But other than independence, you know, I really love the weather here. I do enjoy being able to be around a bunch of college students. You know, I feel like everyone around here is really driven with a mission, and so when I'm walking around campus, I feel that energy, and so it's a really good environment. I'm making a ton of friends, almost to the point sometimes that I just feel way too socially underwhelmed, and so I just have to have some little introvert time and play with Rubik's Cubes by myself. But yeah, meeting a ton of new people, and everyone here is really smart, which feels really good because it honestly does push me a lot. You know, just seeing how smart some other people are makes you think, you know what, if they could do it, why can't I? And so I've been really just pushing myself in terms of those kind of things. And yeah, honestly, like, college is basically everything that I thought it would be and more. Like, I remember when I was going to college, I had so many kind of pre-assumptions about what it was going to be like. I was watching tons of college videos and being like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be enjoying that, that's going to be cool. But honestly, actually being in college is so much nicer, and so I'm so happy I'm here. I can't wait for you guys to go to college as well. Like, you guys are honestly going to love it. Now let's talk about why I haven't been making videos lately. Essentially, I have just been so much more busier than I would normally be, and so essentially, like, when it comes to college, it's not just the schoolwork that's keeping up your time, it's like the outside organizations, like the clubs, or like the teams, or your friends. You know, you want to have a social life, or just time to exercise, or food. All these things kind of mesh up together so that for the most part, basically every single hour of my day, I'm doing something, whether it's schoolwork or clubs or just, you know, any random thing, I'm doing something. Which is why it's sometimes hard to find time to do YouTube. You know, YouTube is something that you basically have to put in like 6 hours of work into that day, whether it be filming the video or editing the video or trying to find a thumbnail or title. You know, that all takes time, and when I have just so many other things to do during that same time, it's kind of hard to say, you know what, I'm just going to take YouTube, put it over there, and screw that assignment that I had to do. So, you know, it's really hard to find that perfect fit where I can kind of just like fit in both. But on top of that, whenever I do have time for YouTube, I'm basically like not able to record because there's other people in my dorm. Like, I have roommates, and so that just makes it a little bit more difficult. It's kind of hard to find like my own space in order to just sit down and talk to you guys. In fact, in order to kind of book this space, I had to book an appointment, and so I'm kind of just like using the study room to make a video right now. I mean, I like it. But yeah, overall, I just feel like in college now, I've been kind of forced to focus on other things other than YouTube, like what I'm going to do after college, what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And so it's really important that during these 4 years, I make the best of it. You know, I try learning as much as possible, I try meeting as many people as possible, I try getting as many opportunities that are available to me. And so YouTube is kind of just have to be put in the back burner for now, which annoys me so much because YouTube has been like my #1 hobby for the last 5 years of my life. Like, you know, even during high school, I honestly put YouTube above high school. Like, that's kind of what I did. But now that I'm in college, I can't really do that anymore, and so here I am. You know, YouTube is an amazing hobby, and it's honestly given me so much over the last 6 years. But at the end of the day, I kind of have to focus on what's going to be best for me long term, and what's best for me right now is focusing on college, you know, clubs, opportunities, trying to find a job in the future. And so that's just been, you know, eating up up all my time. But of course, when I do have some time, I want to be making videos here, and so, you know, I've been able to find that time today, and so I thought, you know what, why not record, why not tell you guys where I've been. Now, during the last 2 years in college, I have had so many conversations kind of telling people that I do YouTube, and honestly, being a YouTuber in college is very, very interesting, because when I was in high school, basically everyone in my school knew I did YouTube. You know, I was kind of known as the YouTube guy, you know, Kevin does YouTube. But then on college, on the other hand, nobody knows who you are until you talk to them. And so I've been meeting so many new people, and basically I just tried to like not mention YouTube. I don't want to come up as like, oh yeah, I do YouTube by the way, isn't that pretty cool? You know, instead I just like meet people and I just like don't mention it at all. And so later on in the conversation, when they eventually do find out by like searching my Instagram or like my social medias, then they see it and they're like, Kevin, what the heck is this? Like, you didn't tell me anything about this. And so it's super, super fun because I get like the coolest reactions ever. I don't know, I feel like when I talk to people before I mention YouTube, they're kind of like, Kevin, you didn't really do anything during high school, how did you get into Berkeley? But after I mention my channel, after they learn about it, they're like, okay, it makes all sense now, you know, I kind of see how you got in. Now, with that being said though, sometimes there are instances where I meet someone for the first time and they already know about like me being the YouTube guy, which makes no sense. Like, I'll meet someone that I literally haven't talked to in my entire life, and they'll be like, oh wait dude, aren't you like the Cuban YouTuber? And I'll be like, how do you know? And so I have no idea how they find out sometimes. But yeah, definitely is interesting. Definitely is a lot of fun though. Now, there has been a few like fan interactions, or like people who are already like fans of my channel and I meet them in real life and they're like, oh shoot, it's you, man. So I remember one time I was in the elevator going up to my dorm, someone enters and says, wait, aren't you Kevin? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're like, oh yeah, I used to watch your videos when I was little. Another time I was in lunch line, I was just like cubing, and this guy comes up, says, hey, can I try that? He gets my cube, he starts turning it also, and he says, oh yeah, I know who you are by the way. And that kind of just like shook my whole world up. There's a couple other instances where this has happened, but the craziest one was I was just in the bus and this guy, he was getting up, and right before he left, he looked at me and said, dude, are you cubing encoded? Which is the weirdest one, because normally when people meet me and they know the channel, they just call me Kevin. And so this guy calling me cubing encoded, and the fact that he was like older than me, it was a very strange experience, but once again, very, very cool. But yeah, overall, it's low-key been like pretty nice, like being a YouTuber in college. I feel like most people think that it's really, really awesome. I think that most people respect it a lot, which feels nice, especially because, you know, being at such a competitive school like Berkeley, everyone basically has their own stuff, you know? Like basically every single friend I have had like a 4.0 GPA, or like research opportunities during high school, or like president of a bunch of clubs. You know, everyone has their stuff. And so I feel like it's really, really easy to kind of feel like an imposter inside such a college like this. Like, it's really easy to be like, oh wow, everyone is so amazing and so smart, and then there's me. But luckily, you know, having YouTube, I feel like kind of fulfills that spot for me, where I can keep up with all these people, and I can, like, you know, have my own accomplishments that match theirs. And so I feel like it's been a huge confidence booster for me as well. You know, whenever I tell people about it, it's kind of just like, yeah, you know, you have your stuff, I have my stuff, and we're both chilling. Now, what's next for the channel? Well, basically, I want to be back and, you know, uploading consistently really, really badly. The problem is that time, you know, trying to find the time to make a video, it's kind of tough. So although I could say all I want to, that I want to start uploading like weekly, just making consistent content for you guys, I really can't guarantee consistency because I never know what's coming up in the corner. You know, basically every single week is so uncertain. I never know when I'm going to have another midterm, or like when I have like a club retreat, or when I have to have just plans in general. Like, I never really know. And so obviously I want to upload more, but I'm not sure if my time will let me, but I'll try my very, very best. Anyway, that's kind of just what I want to talk about. That's how my last few months have been. I'm so happy and grateful that you guys have stuck with me during this time. You know, I can't wait to make more content for you guys, being a college student, and I'm really, really grateful that I'm able to kind of express my college journey so far and tell you guys, and hopefully you guys are listening as well. Anyways, I have around 30 more minutes inside this room. I'm going to do a little bit of work. You know, I have a very, very packed day today. Alright, see you in a bit.